Howdy, howdy, howdy. You know, Sunday night was a good night for news. If you have a chance, I'm sure it's on YouTube. If you turn on the news, you've heard about it. If you were lucky to see it live, as most of my friends did, because my emails were like blowing up, Le- Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We can never say Marjorie Greene. We got to say Marjorie Taylor Greene. Showed her whacked out asses on 60 Minutes. I'm going to give you some highlights, but it was so juicy. The bits I saw, I needed a biscuit and gravy. Unfortunately, I had some lined up here. Not that I needed it. We're not going to talk about that. That's not important. I'm just glad they were available. I needed a snack while I watched this crazy lady from Georgia. And I know a lot of people in Georgia. I haven't met any crazy from Georgia. I'm sure the people who live in Atlanta go, you haven't checked hard enough. I haven't met any people. I'm in Georgia a lot. Anyway, um, Leslie Stahl has been there. Leslie Stahl is probably my age, in her 60s. Um, let's start with the highlights. This is the first one. She said the Democrats is a party of pedophiles. And so Stahl says, Leslie Stahl goes, um, what do you mean, basically? And she says, they support grooming children. Stahl said, no, they're not pornographic. Why would you say that? And she says, Democrats support, even Joe Biden himself, the president himself, supports children being sexualized, having transgender surgeries. Sexualizing children is what pedophiles do to children. That's what she said. Um, she says, then of course, she was a victim. She said, she told Stahl that they call me racist. They call me anti Semitic, which is not true. I'm not calling anybody names. I'm just calling out the truth, basically. This is the same woman who said, I believe the Rothschild, a Jewish family, were responsible for the fires in California using space lasers. You can check this out. Um, she said the sister, who was just Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman on the Supreme Court, was pro pedophile. Um, of course, she wanted a national divorce where she called for a national divorce where the country would just split. She's supporting um, the January 6th invasion. She wanted to actually give it to her. I think that's planned. Here's where they came in. Patriarchs. No one heard anybody say they were going to string up Mike Pence. No one. Um, I mean, she's got a track record. She's got a track record so long. What gets me, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here because I want you to watch it and maybe get back and see what you thought of the crazy lady from Georgia who narrowly won. Now, I tell you why she's still in the Republican Party. And now, if she was a Democrat, she'd be censored. They would put her in a small room, give her a wooden chair, some Ovaltine and peanut butter sandwiches, but not the Republicans. And one of the reasons in her case, but they basically haven't done much to the crazy wing of the party. She raises a lot of money, as whacked out and crazy as she is. She raises a lot of money for the Republicans. Now, in the case of Kevin McCarthy, he basically had to, he had to hoe for money. I mean, he had to hoe for votes because it was his dream, a lifelong dream to be Speaker of the House, which is just so fragile because it only takes two people, I think one or two people, to challenge his speakership. So, but you have other Republicans. I'm not anti-Republican. I believe we need to have two parties. Here in California, the Republicans were once a strong party, and then in the mid to late 90s, they went after the Latino section of California and empowered many Hispanics and Mexicans to get into politics, and the rest is history. And I think that will happen in other states. But I have voted for Republicans, but I'm an independent. I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party. I think they're too similar. It's like choosing Jif over Skippy. I wish there were other parties, but as Donald Trump said, it is rigged for a third party. I don't know if it's still in 2023, but if a third party had a candidate with a lot of support, they couldn't be on in the debates. Now, I'm not sure if that was 2023, but it has been in the future, in the past. I'm sorry. But if you haven't watched this show, make sure you don't. If you're gonna eat something light, not something that can choke you. But you can see it on YouTube. If you've turned on the news this morning, it's there. It's on newspapers. The right feels that Leslie Stahl was too harsh, even though the words came out of her mouth. And the left was saying she didn't go deep enough. Can't satisfy everybody. But anyway, it's good TV. I mean, it's crazy. I hope something happens to this country. You can't blame everything on Donald Trump. Although I think she's probably going to be the hostess there with cheeseburgers for everybody who pickets in New York tomorrow. Crazy town, but it's funny, and you got to be able to laugh, right? Got to be able to laugh, be silly for a minute. Life is too short. Having said all that, this is a Rodfather 916 wishing everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. It is a choice. Have a good week. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, I'd love it. Comment, I'd love it. Crazy, I am. Bye now.